Yes, sir. Hey, blessings, everybody. Hope everybody enjoyed their family. Hope everybody enjoyed their plates. You heard me? A lot of detoxing needs to be going on. I already know it, man. I need to detox myself. But I want y'all to understand, man, this is just a part of me giving back. Make sure that you do click the link specifically so you can get the crazy discounts that's going on. It's a lot of Black Friday discounts going on, but for me, every day is Black Friday. We always giving out discounts and we always giving back to the community. So this is part of me giving back. Any questions that you have, feel free to put them in the chat. Let me know, and I'll definitely go over it. I'm about to go over just some quick strategies. If you have any questions, let me know. This is part of me giving back to the community. Y'all ready? Let's go ahead and get it. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to get this thing cracking. Let's go. Here we go. Yes, sir. Here we go. All right, I'm going to get straight to it. All right, so a lot of people don't really understand the full structure of the credit report. Like, here's the basic structure, but I want you to understand that the fact that you control your credit report, knowing these data points, now you're able to manipulate your credit report in a positive way so that you have the correct data points. These credit scores, they really don't matter at the end of the day. Credit scores do not matter. I want you to understand that. This system was set in place specifically for banks, collection agencies, and the reporting agencies, also known as the credit bureaus. I want you to understand when I say reporting agencies, I'm talking about the big three. I'm talking about TransUnion, Equifax, Experian. They have created this system, right? So at the same time, when it comes to the scoring model, they're all based off of data points, payment history, credit utilization, derogatories, age of history, total accounts, hard inquiries. This is what we call profile. This is what we call data points. This is what we actually take advantage of. So out the gate, when we talk about credit scores and having a certain credit score because this bank needs it, okay, cool, but it's based off of these data points. So always have 100% payment history at the same time. Your utilization always under 10%. Why is that? Simply because we want the banks to understand that we know how to utilize the money. And when it comes down to the money, understand where the money comes from. This is where the knowledge comes into play. This is where we start to understand ourselves. And when it comes to this social security cards, your ID, all this stuff is involved whenever we make a transaction in order to get money from the social security card, from the treasury. I'm about to put it all together for you. So when it comes down to getting money and banks, quote unquote, lending us money, this is what happens. We go to the bank, they ask us for our ID, and they ask us for our social. Why do they do that? They ask us for our ID so that they can make sure we are who we say we are. They ask us for our social simply because this is how they're able to access the money from our open-ended credit plan. It's plain and simple. We not only are we consumers, but we also do business with America. We also do business with the United States of America, right? So how does this work? The Social Security card, quote unquote, the open-ended credit plan is attached to the U.S. Treasury. Okay, so when we need to go get credit or we need to be extended credit, we go to the bank where they have the cheat code to access the Treasury and to pull money from the Treasury and extend it back to the consumer. I want y'all to understand when this transaction happens, this is where we have the control. When this transaction happens, they pull from the U.S. Treasury from your specific open-ended credit plan. Now they keep a percentage, whatever that may be. We will never know unless we actually did our research. All right, hopefully for most people, this will be part of research. Take this information and utilize it. This information is not valuable information if you don't utilize it. All right, it becomes valuable when you utilize it, and then we start to see things happen. All right. So they take money from the US Treasury. Now they say, hey, Mr. Johnson, we have your $20,000 plus some interest. This is how the banks keep their lights on. They need us as consumers to keep their lights on. So they have crazy fees, which they're entitled to, right? But at the same time, we have to understand when we are being taken advantage of. There's a difference. They're entitled to something, but when it comes to the point we're being taken advantage of, contracts don't say what they're supposed to say. They're leaving things out. This is where we utilize our consumer rights. All right, so I'm laying the foundation down for you so you understand what's really going on when it comes to credit and why a lot of people are scared of it, why a lot of people don't understand it, and also why a lot of people leverage it. This is what we do. We leverage your credit. We don't just sit on 800 credit scores. We don't sit on 750 credit scores. We utilize them. We're going to use the system in our advantage, which was created for us, and also it was created to demise us. But since we do have the law, consumer law, that's in our favor, now we utilize it to our advantage and we leverage our credit by all means. Okay? So now they extend us the money, and then they also put their interest on top of it. Now they also put their fees on top of it. Now there's ways for us to dodge these fees and dodge the interest simply because the system was created for us. I hope this is clicking. All right. So with all that being said, you keep the bank's lights on. You keep the corporation's lights on. Walmart, Costco, every corporation that you can actually see is because of you, right? So it's now it's time to shift the mindset to know that you control your credit report and actually do the necessary steps to leverage your credit report. A lot of people have derogatories. You see it says 0 derogatories. You must have 0 derogatories and no late payments. These are the most important things. Okay? The most important things. Now I want to also tell you, if you have late payments, you can get them removed. I don't care if it's been on there for 8 years. I don't care if it's been on there for 8 months. You can have these derogatories removed. You can have these late payments removed. Okay. And when it comes to repossessions, any type of public records, they can be removed. Now, these things takes time. This just doesn't happen overnight. Some people can have bankruptcies removed in 15 days. Some of them have in 30 days. Some of them have 3 months, 6 months. I'm dealing with a client right now, and so far this is like the 5th month. All right. This last set of letters that we're sending out, we are about 90% sure that it's going to click and it's going to happen. All right. But we continue to apply strategy after strategy after strategy after strategy to make it work. I want y'all to understand there's not one strategy to get these things removed, derogatory marks or public records. There's multiple ways. I have multiple strategies. I have multiple people in my circle to help me if certain things don't go right, because it doesn't always go right. You got people promising that you're going to get things removed. No, there is no promise. At the end of the day, you don't have full control. But when you utilize the correct steps, when you utilize the correct USC codes, when you utilize the correct strategies, then your percentage gets higher and higher and higher and higher. So this is what I'm going to share with you. Please click the link or even send me an inbox for the access to the free webinar, because I am going to do a free webinar. It's going to be most likely it's going to be on a Sunday, and I'm going to do it multiple times just because I know this information needs to be out. All right, boom. 0 derogatory marks, age of credit, 5 years, 9 months. I'm going to tell you to go ahead and do 6 or 7 years. Right now, when it comes to total accounts, I have 30 accounts. 17 should be the minimum. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to get a credit card. I don't want any more credit cards. Why? Why do you not want these credit cards? The only thing I can think of for people not wanting credit cards is so either you don't have the responsibility, or You don't have the discipline. These are the only things I can think of. Responsibility and discipline. Because at the same time, they're giving away 30,000, 20,000, 15,000. If you have a business, they're giving away 50,000, 60,000, 70,000. I know because I'm getting it too. I got multiple businesses that are getting funded multiple times. And when it comes to my personal credit cards, I probably have about 15 credit cards. That's compared to the people around me, that's medium, mediocre. Okay. All right. But at the same time, you got to understand that when you have access to capital, you don't have to worry about your money not working for you. Now you just got to figure out strategies so that your money can make more money, babies. Now you got to figure out what business are you passionate about, what business that can provide some purpose, what business can provide impact and empower people. Invest into that business. Now the cash just starts flowing. That's the easy part. Cash flow is easy. It's easy. And some people are saying it's easy when you have it. Yes, but it's easy to obtain it. The only reason why a lot of people don't have access to the money because they're not doing the steps to get rid of the derogatories. And then when they are, they're going back to their old habits. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? We're filing FTC reports. We're filing CFPB reports. This is what we're doing. Okay? 2 hard inquiries. This is important because whenever we go for funding, we're literally applying for about 15 cards, 20 cards, multiple accounts at one time. And we're also doing it at nighttime. Why are we doing it at nighttime, Jay? Simply because at nighttime, whenever we apply for these cards, now we're going and we're getting underwriting from the automated system. Every system has their numbers. Now we're going against the numbers. We're not going against manual underwriting that's looking for all these intricate things. Nah, we're going with the system. So if you have 0 derogatories, if you have a 2%, 3%, 4%, anything other than 9% credit utilization, 100% payment history, when you have a decent amount of age of credit and a decent amount of total accounts, now when we're applying, we get money like this. That's why people are getting funded like this, because their profile matches. Their profile will be able to show that they're responsible. And if you don't want to get all these credit cards, you can get primary accounts. Make sure that you're getting some sort of account that reports to the reporting agencies. Okay? Because this is important. When you know what reports to the reporting agencies, it's over. Because now you can take advantage of it. Now you can stack accounts. And now you can literally go get funding whenever you like. I don't suggest that you go apply for one credit card. Like, oh, my credit shot up 50 points. We're not applying for one credit card. No, we're applying for 12 or more. You might be like, damn, Jay, 12 credit cards? Yes, because think about it like this. If you know the strategies and you're in position to control your credit reports, it's nothing to get hard inquiries removed. A lot of people are struggling with TransUnion and Equifax because they haven't put in the time to understand what procedures that these 2 reporting agencies are utilizing. But you got people like me that study this all the time. You got people like me that have incredible people around me in order to share this information. And I just take the information and I go. I execute. So I encourage you to execute. Execute, execute, execute. That's the only reason why I'm in the position where I'm at, is because I execute. All right. So 17 accounts, hard inquiries. Back to the hard inquiries. Whenever we apply for 15 cards, you might think like, damn, Jay, won't we get 15 inquiries? No. This is what we're doing. Let's use the number. Let's use the number 12. Let's say we apply for 12 credit cards. Okay. This is what happens. When we apply for 12 credit cards, we're actually applying for each credit union or each bank. We're going and we're applying for 3 or 4 of those products from one bank. So if I were to go to Navy Federal, if I were to go to PenFed, if I were to go to Alley Financial, these are all companies that's giving out the bag with no problem. Trust me. Okay. When we go to these banks and these credit unions, this is what we're doing. We're applying for 3 or 4 accounts within the same institution. Why, Jay? Simply because we're taking advantage of of opportunity, and we know how to remove inquiries. So here's a gem real quick. So when you apply for 4 credit cards with one bank, they're only going to give you 1 inquiry. So now we apply for 3 or 4 products at Navy Federal, they're going to give us one inquiry. You apply for 3 or 4 accounts for PenFed, they're going to give you 1 inquiry instead of 3, instead of 4. So what are we doing now? So let's say Navy Federal pulls from TransUnion. We're also going to go to SunTrust, and we're also going to go to Ali Financial. Let's say they all pull from TransUnion. This is what we're doing. We're going to get 3 inquiries, and there's possibility that we can get approved for 12 accounts, 4, 8, 12 with TransUnion with 3 inquiries. So if we do that for Equifax and we do that for Experian, now we can get 15 accounts. Now we can get 20 accounts. Now we can get 30 accounts. But we have to keep in mind, whenever we don't get approved, we're still going to get hit with that hard inquiry. That's when we double back and we apply again. Or the next day we call and we say, yo, I noticed a credit inquiry that I did not consent to, and I need it removed. They're going to ask you a few questions. Was it fraudulent? Did I give you access to my credit report? So on and so forth. Yes, it was fraudulent. No, I didn't give you access. No one told you to access my credit report. I never told you to put an inquiry in my credit report. No. So what happens now? It's removed. Just like that. That's how we keep 17 accounts, 30 accounts with only 2 inquiries. All right. Big sauce. All right. Big sauce. I want y'all to understand that you control your credit report. Let me know if you have any questions, because I'm going to move forward. I'm going to let that breathe. If you want to sit back and go to, rewind it, feel free. Any questions? Because after this, I don't know when I'm hopping back on. I just feel in the mood. I feel in the spirit. Y'all know what that looks like. All right. So I'm going to keep it pushing. I'm going to keep it going. I'm not playing around. All right, bet. Let's keep it going. No questions. The big 3. So this is it. The big 3, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. These people, I'm just giving you a brief history about who they are and why they really shouldn't even exist in this world. All right. So these companies literally come out of nowhere and they partner with banks. When they partner with banks, what do? Now they say, okay, now we have to figure out how we can score these consumers and we can get the most out of their money that they're spending, that we extend their credit. We want to make sure that we are the big dogs when it comes to them getting this quote unquote free money. Because if they realize that this is free money, now they're going to take advantage of us. Now they're going to realize that we don't need them. And then they're going to do whatever they want to do, live life to the fullest, which is what's happening. Because people are starting to realize that the big 3 are nothing. They're peons. These people are peons. They're literally companies that came out of nowhere, partner with the banks, as I said before, and now they make money off of your information. These aren't the only people that are doing that. The big 3 partner with these banks, and now they created the scoring system with FICO. You heard of FICO 8, FICO 3, FICO 9, FICO 10. These scoring models and scoring systems are all across the board. It's up to the banks to use each scoring system. Okay, so when it comes to the big 3, I want you to understand that they're not governed by the government, but they are governed by law. This is where we utilize consumer law because they walk all over it. They know that at least most of the consumers don't know consumer law. So they're going to violate you over and over and over again so that they can eat. This is the only way that they can eat. The only way. And when it comes to inquiries, I'm going to tell you right now, Experian is the easiest way to get inquiries removed. How, Jay? How? Anytime you have an inquiry that's not tied to an open account, this is what we're doing. We're calling Experian when like, hey, Experian. We're calling and getting to the fraud department. Make sure you talk to the fraud department. Don't release no information to nobody unless you're talking to the fraud department. And when you talk to the fraud department, ask them to speak to a supervisor. They're going to ask you again, is there anything that I can help you with? No, let me talk to a supervisor. This is very important information that I need to get across. So they're going to get you to a supervisor. The reason why we're doing that, because now you don't have to wait on the phone to go to a next person, explain your situation to the next person, to the next person. We getting straight to the source, the people that actually can get this thing taken care of for us. All right. So we're making sure that we have the name of the inquiry, and we're making sure that we have the name of the creditor that pulled the inquiry. There's two information that's very important. We need both of them. All right. Now what are we doing? This is what we're doing. When we actually talk to the supervisor, we're saying, hey, Miss So-and-so, we're actually really nice. We're nice until they start to continue to violate us. All right. So, hey, so-and-so, how's your day today? Good. Boom. Okay. How's your day? Oh, my day's terrible. I want you to understand. I just pulled my credit report. I noticed some unauthorized, fraudulent inquiries listed on my credit report that I did not consent to. Word for word. Fraudulent inquiries I did not consent to. Even the word unauthorized. They might even say, well, unauthorized and fraudulent is two different things. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's fraudulent and it's unauthorized. This is what we're saying, because they will try to misconstrue you with the words, and then they might say, well, you need to go fill out a FTC report. You need to go fill out a police report. You don't have to fill out a police report. There's nowhere in consumer law or nowhere in any type of code that says you have to have a police report in order to get anything removed from your credit report. Those are just extra steps that they're asking for in their process. Understand that you don't have to follow their process as a consumer. Okay, so now we're giving them the reason why it needs to be removed, and then once they get that reason, now they're going to say, okay, give me 1 second. They might ask you to verify some information. Okay, give it to them. If they ask for your social, this is a big thing, and this is going to take some time to get over. I want you to understand, anytime anybody asks for your social and they use it, put it in a system and they utilize it, a transaction is happening. It's called a consumer credit transaction. It's happening. So somebody's getting paid. And this is the reason why we can get things removed, because if you didn't get anything in return when it comes to these inquiries, now you've been taken advantage on. You've been stepped on. They broke into your house and they robbed the refrigerator. They robbed the safe, and you've been robbed without even knowing it. But if you know it, now we actually come back with notarized letters. We make these phone calls and we get this taken care of. So it's imperative that you get these taken care of ASAP. So after you go for funding and the credit cards you didn't receive, now we're listing the banks and the date that our credit reports were pulled, and we're calling Experian ASAP. We're letting them know that these are fraudulent and they're unauthorized. Boom, they're going to say, okay, it's going to take 24 to 48 hours for them to be removed. This is all across the board. Experian inquiries day in and day out. We're doing it all day. This doesn't work with Equifax and TransUnion. It's not as easy. We got to go through extra steps. Why? Because they have their different processes set in place. They're all three different entities. All right. So I just gave you the sauce or the strategies to remove inquiries from Experian. It's simple. You can get them removed, go for funding again, and do it again. But you have to make sure that you're going to the banks that are pulling from Experian. If you're going to the banks that are pulling from Equifax and TransUnion, those are different steps. You got to go file an FTC report. You got to go to CFPB. You got to report to the AG, Attorney General. And I'm going to go over these in the webinar. So go ahead and hit me with the inbox, execute, and I'll definitely shoot you the link. Excuse me, sign up and register. Everybody can't join because this is free sauce, and I just can't give it to everybody at the same time. I'll have different days, different people hop on, but the first people that hop on will be the first people that get the sauce. So I highly advise you to execute. All right, boom, that's Experian. So now the fact that these are the biggest fraudulent companies ever existed, we know that. Okay, and now we can utilize steps to take advantage of them rather than taking advantage of us. You feel me? Let's get it. All right, dispute letters, FTC, CFPB. These are the different types of resources we're utilizing to get these things removed. All right, there's templates everywhere. templates everywhere with the dispute letters. I got a full set of templates that I'm actually giving away to people that actually utilize this information. So, man, Black Friday is every day. I talked about it yesterday. So understand that we giving out deals all the time. You just got to catch it. All right. Never, I mean, not never, but when you see people, a majority of people, the masses shopping at the same time, how in your mind you think like, yo, this is the time to shop? No, that's not the time to shop. Black Friday is just to get money, get money. I don't mind. I'm not knocking nobody that's giving out Black Friday deals, but I want you to understand that Black Friday is every single day. You just have to be conscious of what you want and go get it. You might not think that price is out there, but I guarantee you it's out there. Wait for Christmas. Christmas is around the corner. You're going to see the same deals. You feel me? So stop waiting for everybody to shop. All right, cool. Dispute letters. There's a whole bunch of templates out there. And I want you to understand that when you recognize and know who you are as a consumer, then you'll understand that you don't need these templates. At the same time, you can utilize these templates, reword them, and give the evidence. Here's the sauce to these letters. When it comes to these letters and get into removals, I'm all about results. I need results. You're not going to just give me a template and say, use this to go get things removed, and I haven't seen results. No, that ain't happening. Not over here. And a lot of people are doing that, and they're frustrated because they still got the derogatories on, or they came off and it came back on because of the lack of understanding about your full credit file and the dispute letters that you've actually sent out with your name on it and not knowing what they're saying, right? So I need you to understand that you can get anything removed off of your credit report as long as you have evidence. And how are we getting evidence? We're creating the evidence. We're creating the evidence. How are we doing that? We actually make sure that we're signing up to a monitoring system so you can see your whole credit file. If you know, even though you can't read it, get with somebody that can. Inbox me, shoot me over your credit report. And be like, yo, can I get it? Can you analyze this? No problem. Like, I'll make it happen for you. And you should want to pay for it. All right. I always give deals just because I know what this is like. But at the same time, you have to understand that you need to know this information. So you won't have to keep paying me. You won't have to keep paying the next person just hoping that they can get these things removed when you can actually do it yourself and save yourself hundreds and maybe thousands of dollars. Because I charge $1,000 an hour. That's just it. And if you have basic credit restoration, it's probably going to be around $750, $850. Depending on what you really need to get taken care of. But if you can learn how to do it yourself, who are you paying? Nobody. Who are you helping? You and your family and your friends. All right. So I'm going to keep this recording up. Make sure you register and make sure you continue to learn something new about credit because it's in your favor. All right. Dispute letters. Have evidence. Once you sign up to a monitoring system, now depending on your account, you can look and see when was the account open, how much is the balance. If there's a zero balance but it says you owe $3,000, how is it a zero balance and you owe $3,000? That's inaccurate already. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. So what we do, we screenshot that, we circle it, boom, boom, put it inside the letter, and we send it off. We're filing an FTC report because when it comes to collections, this is what's happening with collections. You got literally over 300 to 400 collection agencies that are in rotation over and over and over again, right? So what are they doing? They're buying information from the banks. They're buying information from each other in order to get more money from you. You might even have two different collection agencies calling you about the same collection. And you're like, what? How is this? They're doing this so that they can capitalize off of your money. The banks sold your information off jump to a collection agency just so that they can get their money and get you out of here. And now the collection agency bought it and then they write it off on their taxes because they're a business. They're in the business of buying and selling information. So their product is information. It just only makes sense. This is what's happening right now. So now they're around this time, they're writing everything off on their taxes, right? And then they're coming at you like, yo, Mr. Johnson, you owe $5,000 on a Bank of America account that you didn't pay in 2007. What? How'd you get my information? That's the first thing I'm asking. They're gonna say, is this debt yours? Who is yours? How'd you get my information? Why are you calling me? That's two violations. Violation of your rights of privacy. USC 1681A4, violation of privacy. All right, know it, understand it, because this happens all the time. When you know it, you understand it, you can call and tell them like, yo, don't call me. You can send out a cease and desist letter, which I highly recommend. I do it all the time when I get collection accounts removed. You're writing a cease and desist letter, you're sending to them, and you're also giving them a validation of the debt. Because if they don't have the original quote unquote contract with a wet signature, which means a wet signature is literally the document that you actually signed, then there is no more debt. Like that, it doesn't exist. Because everything is documented. We need documents. We need evidence. Everything is evidence-based. It changed the game whenever you have evidence. Okay? Because this is why these collection agencies don't want to go to court, because they don't have evidence. And what's happening now? These people are actually putting us inside a virtual system. So now they're saying they don't need evidence because you sign electronically. No, I need everything in writing. I refuse to get my bills through email because I need to see it in writing. When I get it in writing, now we're talking about something. Because now, if I didn't give you access or the authority to do so, you're violating me. I need to get paid for the violation. And that's what we're doing. I need to get paid for you calling me at 9 p.m. at night talking about a $5,000 collection that you already paid for. Now they're making 300%, 400%, 500% on your money. A lot of people are saying, oh, Jay, what if I pay it? Would you think that's better than waiting to get it removed? I'm going to tell you like I tell everybody else. No. Why are we paying collection agencies that already pay for the debt so that they can get it removed? They don't even promise you that they can get it removed. If you want to do pay for deletion, what is called pay for deletion, ask them. Will you do a pay for deletion? I still don't recommend it. But some people just, that money is burning. I have no idea why. And I don't even know why you would even trust a collection agency that bought your information, stole your information, and then you want to pay them so that they can report to the reporting agencies to get it removed when you can report on your own. You can actually send the collection agency a cease and desist letter, literally 3 sentences that say, stay away from my credit report, zero out all balances, and don't ever report to my credit report ever again. You can write that to the collection agencies because that's your rights. So when we do that, now what are we doing? We're preventing the collection agency from coming to our credit reports for reporting anything, so they can't report the quote unquote debt that's already been paid for. And then what are we doing? We're sending out a validation of debt. Now you got to validate this. If you don't respond to this validation of debt in 30 days, what's happening? Actually, 30 days is really nice. It's cushion. I'm like, nah, I need 4 days. I need 15 days. I need you to respond ASAP. If you don't, now I got evidence, because when I'm sending my letters, I'm sending everything certified mail. So I get a receipt. I got a receipt knowing that when I sent this, and I got a receipt when you received it. So now clock is ticking for everybody. And I sent out a cease and desist. I dare you to write me back. I dare you. We're talking to the collection agencies like this. All right. So now you put those papers in place. Everything is signed off on, wet signatures. And now the clock is ticking. If they don't respond to you, which they won't because they got a cease and desist, or if they might want to play you because they know a lot of consumers just be talking, they might play you and they might send in another balance invoice or something like that. Now we got to take it to court. A lot of people are scared of court. Why are you scared of court when the collection agencies aren't even supposed to be? They're not even supposed to, like, they're committing fraud. They're stealing from you. So they don't want, why would you think they want to go to court? They don't. So now they're thinking like, oh, we gonna see if they're really about this smoke for them to go to court and let them know that we're gonna take them to court. The only reason why a lot of people lose in this court game is because collection agencies are threatening consumers to go to court, and then you don't respond. Whenever you don't respond, now you're saying I'm admitting to this debt, and I'm admitting that everything that this collection agency is correct. And now you're in trouble because you didn't respond. You need to respond every single time anybody takes you to court. You have all the right to say that this isn't true just by responding. All right, so these things are very important to know. All right, we're sending out those dispute letters. We're sending out FTC reports. We're sending out CFPB complaints. We're sending out all the evidence, and we're waiting 30 days, 15 days. I suggest. Okay, so then we once we get the results that we want, we keep it pushing. If we don't, we just got to escalate to a whole nother level. And I guarantee you, the strategies that I'm giving you, you're going to get results because I do this every day. All right, let's get it. All right, inquiry removal. Simple. I told y'all exactly how to get things removed. Even with the dispute letters, you can backdate them 2 weeks and send them in snail mail. What is snail mail? It's just a simple stamp. It takes about 2 weeks to get there. And then you backdate it so it looks like it's about a month. So what's happening now? Now we're reporting to the CFPB saying that, I've sent this letter at least 45 days ago and I haven't received any response. Now, what is that? Automatic removal. This is how we're winning. This is how we're winning. I want y'all to understand we are winning. And we're not just getting things removed so our credit look good, so it looks sexy. Nah, these strategies aren't sexy. You really got to get down dirty with it. You really got to get on the computer, study. This sometimes, you know what I mean? You got to come back from work, understand what you're doing. But once you get it down, you got the power. And at the end of the day, we are going to get the bag. We're going to get the bag. This is what it's really about, going to get the bag. Because I guarantee you, these companies are giving the money away, especially around this time. The banks are going out of business, believe it or not. Cryptocurrency is taking over. These banks are trying to figure out how they can get percentages off of cryptocurrency because they believe in it. So they're trying to keep their customers and keep us as consumers by giving us this money. They're making it easier for us. So I've seen people have not only their personal credit together, but they're leveraging their personal to get business. I do it myself. I have about 4 businesses that I've created. And I want y'all to understand that if you have a 9-to-5, create a business. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be a working business. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to have a storefront. Like, just create a business on paper, structure it the right way, and go to the bank. Go to the small credit unions. Go to the regional banks. Build a rapport with them. Once you build a rapport with them, over a month's time, put in about $2,000, $5,000, and allow it to allow your account to generate some of that money. Now it looks like your business is generating money. Even if you get money from your 9-to-5, which is fine, it's okay. Now use that to leverage your business. Go put money in your business account. What are we doing? Now we're letting the banks know that our businesses are building revenue. So now they're like, okay, they're getting money, so let's go ahead and extend them 10,000. Let's extend them 15, 20,000 based off of their personal credit and based off of the relationship that we built with them, and they got $5,000, $10,000 in the bank. What are we doing? Give them the money. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you something real quick. If you got 2 credit cards, this is how we avoid interest. We don't pay interest. They can give us interest rates all day, but we're not paying it. If you give us 0%, thank you. We're gonna use that to leverage, and we're gonna get more bags. But if you give us 20%, which is high, 15%, if you're giving us 15.5%, we're still not paying it. How, Jay? Because we're setting up. Write this down. Become the notes. Don't just note takers are not money makers. Note takers are note takers. Action takers are money makers. Believe that. Okay. So understand this. What are we doing? We're building relationship with the bank and with our business accounts. And we're also leveraging our personal to get business funding. So whenever we get business funding, we apply just like we apply with our personal accounts. All right, we're doing tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, all the way to tier 4. Then we're going to the big banks and getting the big bags. All right, you can get 75,000 within 2 months, 3 month time frame, easy, especially with businesses. And if you got a 9 to 5, you're really ahead of the game. A lot of people are going to tell you, quit your 9 to 5. Don't do 9 to 5. Why? Why am I quitting a 9 to 5 and now I'm busting my butt to create a business that nobody believes in? Now you're gonna have to tap into a whole nother belief system, because now you're gonna have to draw in a whole different crowd that believes into your product, believe in your service. So why not leverage our 9 to 5 to create our business, to create some sort of income stream for our business, leverage our business to the banks and like, bank, I need this. Okay, cool. Here's 20 racks, but that's off of one business. Imagine if you did 3, that's $60,000. The average income is $40,000 a year. But with the business, even leveraging your personal credit, you can get up to 60, 75,000. This is what's happening right now. All right, so take advantage and execute, man. Take advantage and execute. All right, this is just some more sauce. This is going to be my last slide because I feel like I'm already giving. I mean, this is giving back, but I feel like I'm just overdoing it right now at this point. So, all right, I'm keeping this recording up as well. All right, so this is what we call working the system. Y'all remember I talked about these 300 plus reporting agencies and collection agencies? All right, so the big three, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, they partner up with these 300 plus secondary agencies. These secondary agencies, they actually partner with the banks as well as the collection agencies, as well as the top 3 reporting agencies. All right. And how are they doing this? They're buying all of our information and they're storing it. They're housing it. Right. So when it comes to specifics like bankruptcies, repos, student loans, a lot of people got student loans. I had 12 student loans that total up to $49,244,000 worth of student loan debt. I still know the exact amount. It's tragic. Okay, I was sorry for my language, but I was raped. All right, financially raped, but we took care of it. We got those student loans removed, and now we're getting to the money. Just simple as that. It's just that simple, to be 100% real with you. And those student loans, some of them I got removed over the phone. And this is when I started to learn consumer rights. I had notes in front of me while I was on the phone with Equifax, and we got that thing removed in 24 hours. Easy. Well, no, I lied. It wasn't easy. It took me 3 hours, but we did it over the phone. 3 hours or 30 days or 3 months or 6 months. What are we doing? I'm going to take those 3 hours. And that's what happened. Okay, so these reporting agencies, this is what's happening. So whenever you're actually disputing different items, you're going to the TransUnion and you're going to Equifax, you're going to Experian, they're like, let's verify this. Understand, verify and validate are 2 different things. I can verify you by simply going and making sure your email is your email, your date of birth is your date of birth, your name is your name. That's verified. So when you see these reporting agencies coming back saying that this information has been verified, it hasn't been validated. These words are important. The words are the only thing that's keeping you in bondage. The only thing that's keeping you from getting things removed. The only thing that's keeping you from going on the other side and get funding is the language. That's it. I guarantee you. That's all it is. It's just the knowledge. Now you got to implement the information, execute it, and then turn it into knowledge. All right. So they're now saying, hey, Jerome Johnson II has a repossession. So now they're gonna go tap into the reporting agency before they go to the creditors. The tap into the secondary reporting agency, which is LexisNexis or SageStream or CoreLogic, and now they're gonna verify or validate this information. LexisNexis, SageStream, CoreLogic are gonna shoot right back over to TransUnion and like, yo, this is verified, this is validated, verified and validated. And then they're just gonna take their word for it and send you that letter that it's been verified. If it doesn't say validated, we're sending in a validation letter. If it says validated, now we're asking them, how was it validated? How? Just because SageStream says so? Whose report is this? It's mine. So you have to validate with me. A lot of people's not going to understand that. You have to validate with me. And it says in consumer law that you have to validate with a neighbor or a family member that the credit report belongs to. Okay, so we got to do this over and over again. We have to stand 10 toes down. 10 toes. All right, so what are we doing? We're freezing LexisNexis, we're freezing SageStream, we're freezing ARS, and we're freezing CoreLogic. There's more out there, but understand that wherever your information is, freeze those secondary reporting agencies. So now when you report to TransUnion Equifax, they say, hey, let me go back and verify this, or let me go back and validate this. Now they're going to go to these secondary reporting agencies. They can't get in. Now the time is still ticking because they got 30 days, 15 days if you do it right. They can't get in. Now they have to remove this because they can't validate it. All right. Just understand you got to execute. So that was just a little sauce that I wanted to give my community, and I hope y'all got something from it, because at the same time, that's how we moving things. That's how we moving. That's how we grooving. And I want y'all to understand that in order to get access to the free credit webinar, go ahead and tap in, click the link in the description, and I'm sending out links to everybody. So blessings to y'all. Mr. Royal Credit signing off. What else I got to give y'all? That's it. I love y'all. People that execute, that's all I can say is execute. Just execute. That's it. Send me the results. Send me the results. All right, let's get it. Let's go.